Well, good morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall rejoice, we shall sing, we shall be glad in it. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. So, the price of love, what's it going to cost me? The price of love. What is it going to cost me? We're in the love month. It is February at the time of this recording. I don't know when you're going to see the replay, hear the replay, etc., but it's going to cost you. Love, the price of love, what it cost you. So, probably one of the most famous, besides the Lord's Prayer, besides Psalms 23, another one of the most famous scriptures of all, for God so loved the world, what we call the main scripture of the Bible itself. Uh, at Sunday school used to call it the Bible verse or the main verse or whatever. But for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. The optimal word to me is he gave. For God so loved the world, which we sure didn't deserve. We sure didn't earn. Nothing, none good but the Father. Nothing good. That in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. For God so loved the world that he gave. And the sacrifice was his only son, his only begotten son. So I recently, and I've told it now about 3 or 4 times, but I recently saw a business coach, entrepreneur, business owner say that love and what you're passionate about is not about, ooh, all the feel goods. It's what you're willing to sacrifice for. When I read that, it did something to me. It resonated with me. Because if you say you love it, how much are you willing to sacrifice for it? So one of the things, when you say the price of anything, you're always thinking about money. You're always thinking about, ooh, the old song, how much does it cost? I'll buy it. Well, some things you can't buy. Some things money can't buy. Money answers all things, but there are some things that is going to require something different than actually Bitcoin, credit cards, everything, because Jesus had to do it. For the one of the prices of love, loving the Father first and love your neighbors yourself, is not my will, but thy will be done. That's where he had to get. Not my will, but thy will be done. Now that's always hard for independent, because we're free moral agents. We have a right to decide. But when you really love God for real, you're willing to sacrifice your will. And I know that was ouch right there. It got me too. It got me because, if I had my way, I'd be a size 8. If I had I mean, I still could if I made some different decisions, but not my will, hereditarily. It's like Monique and Fat Girls. The guy said you don't really have the bone structure to be a size 6 or a size 8. You just don't. Some of us are just not built. Even if we lose a lot of weight, it's going to be weird on us because we just weren't built for that. But not my will, but thy will be done. Now I requested a side. No, I'm joking. But not my will, but thy will be done. So that's one of the first things that you have to do. Submit to the will of God. Let the will of the Lord be done. And we can ask, we can pray. Some people and some denominations are cool with the big, and I beg God, I asked God, I pleaded, I stayed up all night. But then eventually you're going to have to be like David. Wash your face, get up, and say, not my will. We submit to the will of the Lord. That's a tough one. That's a hard one. But that's some of the price of love. Because when he keeps you up every day and keeps you up late at night, I'm sorry, and then you wakes you up early in the morning and he says the same thing, he's not changing his mind. And you will not get to the abundance, the exceedingly abundantly, unless you obey the first thing. Now, there are authors who come to me with books, etc., and I see a whole coaching business. I see everything, but the person doesn't see it yet. They just all they have is step one. And I try to prepare them, and sometimes God releases me to say something. No, I'm not a prophet. No, I don't walk in the office of prophet. But sometimes He tells me, unctions me to say a certain thing, and I'm like, okay, no, He's preparing you. I can't tell you what's next, but no, He's preparing you for something. That's where I leave it, because you submitted to say, all right, I'm gonna just. A lot of this is spiritual. A lot of this is you won't do this thing, but you keep wanting thing number 5 down the road. That's a part of the price of love. What you're willing to sacrifice, your will, and then a part of your will. Ooh, I won't. Is your way. Is your way. Now, the scariest part of this, not submitting your will and your way to God, is that I have known people that have, old folks say, dug their heels in and missed God so many times because they refuse to change their will and their way. And I've had it happen to me. I've had it, I've told it many times. And if you're just joining me today for the first time, I've told it many times. When major transition happened, getting ready to happen in my life, I gave away 38 bags of clothes. I had to change my total wardrobe. I was married before, so I had to give away. A guy gave me wanted to be engaged to me. I had to give those rings away. He's like, nope. Be. And so therefore, it has to, you know, yeah, I think I just had a technical glitch, but I'm back. And so therefore, honoring God is the act of obedience sometimes, doing it your way, and you dig in your head, no, I'm committed to me. It's all about me. And yeah, and God's trying to take you down a different path, go you in another direction, and you like, no, I want this way. Yeah. And you're missing God's way, which is the better way, because I can say this at 62, but at 32 and 22 and 42, I had no clue. And I thought I was giving up so much, when in actuality, it was for my protection. The direction was for my protection. I look back and I realized, oh my Lord, I nowhere, no near where I could have been, what I could have been involved in, whether it was a trap, whether I went willingly or knowingly. So you got to get not my will, not my way, and not my walk, not my walk. Because that exceedingly abundantly above all, if you're if you're striving to be in the perfect will of God. Now you're not perfect, but you're trying to be in God's will. He will not necessarily show you everything, the end and all that. And so, because that middle is just, ooh, it's a mess. It's having to say no, having to say, it's a lot in the middle. It's a lot in that middle ground where you like, I can't see on the other side. That's the reason I don't like driving at night, because I can't see around the bend. I don't know that. If we go to my mama's house, I can almost get there blind because I know where I am. But somewhere else, unfamiliar territory, and he's saying go, and I'll show it to you. Oh, for a planner like me, a person who stays up and prepares and plans and asks questions and seeks advice. But it can't be about my walk. I get, there's certain things I don't get to do. Other people can do it, but I don't get to do. Certain places other people get to go, I don't get to go. I know that's not grammatically correct, but I don't get to go there. Certain things other people can, just it worked for them. It don't work for me. It didn't work out for me. The price of love. And the price of love is not necessarily just relational love, because the number one relationship has got to be your relationship with God. And then all the other relationships will come down, because some relationships you're in, they're for your learning, for a lesson, they're for training, and they don't stop you. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. I'm like, if he didn't say anything, if he didn't tell you no, that meant we getting ready to learn a hard lesson that we hopefully will never do again. This is one of those unforgettable. This is the permissive will. It may not be the divine will. This is permissive will. I'm gonna let her go down that road. I'm gonna let him go down that road and see what it is and get in it. And I've been in situations where I'm like, God, well, come on, let me tell. No. It's for our learning. It's for our understanding. It's for our experience. Sometimes it's not even for us what we go through. Not my walk, sorry. The price of love, not my will, not my way. It wouldn't, I wouldn't have gone that direction. I wouldn't walk down that street. I wouldn't have walked down in that job. Oh, Lord. I said I wasn't going and still had to go. My dad said, y'all need to get a minor in education because y'all need to be teachers. I said, not me. Yeah. Who won? My heavenly father and my earthly father. Because that wouldn't have been my walk. No. Really? I'm like, no, I was called to it. People, oh my gosh, you always want to be a teacher. No. Hey, my walk. No, I had corporate America. I had being cute in cute clothes and not people throwing up on you and falling out and crying and oh no. That wasn't my walk. But I had to walk it. I had to learn it. And he checked me real hard because I didn't even say the words out of my mouth. I said it. I'm like Sarah. I said it within myself. Lord, you got jokes. What am I doing with these little children? He said, you can lead these children. You're leading the nation. I said, oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Stop the little children to come unto me and forbid them not. Such as the king. I felt just like I got checked real fast. Like, don't be playing with my kids. Hello. These are all souls of mine. Don't you? So it's not my walk. And then lastly, it's not my work. That's the price of love. Not my will, not my way, not my walk, and not my work. It's his. He blessed the work of our hands. But if we're trying to work something that's not our work, we're trying to work in an area that we see that looks glamorous, looks great, but you don't have the grace for that, baby. It'll kill you if you tried. And Brian married to me, and he still says, I don't know how you do all you do. I don't know how you. I'm like, because I have the grace for it. I have the gifting for it, but I also have the grace for it. Because you can be gifted and still don't have the grace for it. That's not your call. That's not your walk. That's not your way. That's not your will. Then I look at things he does and I'm like, I don't know how you do that either. That's the reason why we're together. Because the things I do sometimes he doesn't do. And the things he does, Lord knows I don't do. I can't do. I don't want to learn. But what's the price? How much you willing to pay? And some of it has, as I said in the beginning, nothing to do with your bank account. Submit your body, a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Not my will, not my way. Even Jesus had to say it. Not my walk, not my work, but thy will be done. God, you lead, I'll follow. You say, I obey. Yeah, I'm over here in this little in my messy office, ouch too. But I realize when it's all said and done, I want to hear him say, well done. I want to stand before him in peace. Yeah, I have a reverential fear of God all the time. But I wanted to hear him say, well done. That's the price of love for me. For, it's the price. It's going to cost me everything. But that's the price of love, because what I exchange, what I get in return, they don't compare. What I give up and what I get in return. Now I say that now older, because when he asked me for it and when he said give it up, I was devastated. I was traumatized. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, it's so easy. No, that's a lie. I'm not gonna tell it. It's not easy. It's not necessarily an easy walk because it goes against your flesh. It goes against your will. And the way I like it to be done and who I want it to be done by and done with and what not gonna happen that way. Sometimes it's strangers, sometimes it's people we don't know. Maybe people we said, oh no, not them, Lord. Like Peter. Oh no, I don't eat that. Peter, rise, slay, and eat. Hello. Not my will, not my way, not my walk, not my work, but thine be done. So that you can live your best life, which is coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com where praise meets talk. Then Tuesdays, the Book Business Boss Show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Book Business Boss podcast.com is where all the replays are. All of season 1 through 4 is already there. Thank you so much for those of you who've been downloading, subscribing, and enjoying the Book Business Boss podcast episodes. I got people listening literally from around the world, and I'm thrilled and excited about it, and it's growing step by step, day by day, piece by piece. So visit there, Book Business Boss podcast. Season 1 is writing, season 2 is publishing, season 3 is promotion, season 4 the book business, season 5 we're in right now on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. How to turn your book into a business. For Julia Royston books, go to Next Chapter Bookstore, gift shop in Ben's Boys in Greensboro, North Carolina, or the Gardner Reading Book Closet, 8601 East 10th Street in Indianapolis, Sankofa Center Bookstore at Bates Memorial in Louisville, Kentucky. When I See Me Children's Book Fair. I'm going to pause right here for just a second and say that if you're an author that's in the Dayton, Ohio area, that you are looking for someone somewhere to sell your children's books, that event is coming up in July. Find the When I See Me Children's Book Fair online or Miss Valerie Lewis Coleman. She's still looking for authors. It was a fantastic event for me. It's wonderful. All of it is beautifully done, well attended, well marketed, and people that come to buy your books. And so therefore, reach out to her, connect with her, and register now to be a part of the When I See Me Children's Book Fair. And she does have a tour. She does sell as she goes some other books, but that is on approval only. And so therefore, you may have to submit one book, but be sure and do that because it is definitely well worth it. And she is a woman of integrity and will return your money. Now, I'm not going to get down into that, but I have had others who didn't give me no money. You got my book, you didn't give me that. No. Anyway, that's a topic for another time. And the amazing corner.com, where it's an online bookstore and mobile book fair. Reach out to them as well. And coming up. So I'm trying to have at least 2 classes. I'm not trying. I am pitching 2 classes that are coming up each month. And the summer months, maybe a little harder, might be just 1. But for first quarter, I really wanted to hit it with the ground running and make sure that you have the ability, whether you're an author or a business owner. Let me just tell you, if you're an author, great, come on in. But if you're a business owner, ministry leader, nonprofit leader, you need to come on and get this information too as well, because it can help you too as well. So the first class is coming up February 19th. I'm going to try 2 Thursday nights in February and see if that works easier. Some people, I can't do Tuesdays and Saturday morning, I already got stuff to do. Okay, let's try Thursday night and see what happens. But 2 classes, 1 link sales system. Now, there are some people who are like, I'm not ready to invest in a full working website. Well, let's find another way. Very budget friendly. That's what I'll say. I won't say cheap, but budget friendly for 1 link sales system. So visit bookbusinessboss.com. That starts February 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on February 19th, February 26th, I'm sorry. February 26th, the next Thursday, is social media for authors and business owners. Now, I have a brand new book that I just released that goes along with it. You know, I teach the class, but I write the book too as well. So it's all there together, the videos, all that good stuff. So social media for authors is the in-person guided by me class on Thursday, February 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On February 24th, that Tuesday night, that week is Black Child Book Week. So we're going to be celebrating. I'm going to be going live on that Tuesday. Mark your calendar. February 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep, I'm going to be going live twice that week. Well, 3 times if you count Sunday. That week for celebrating Black Child Book Week. Super excited to have children's book authors on going live with me on February 24th. 26th is class, February 29th is class. Register today. Nashville, I'm coming your way. February 21st. So right after the February 19th class, I'll be on the road the 20th. If the weather holds up, I don't do ice. I can do a little snow. Mr. Royston's okay with a little snow, but we don't do no ice. But February 21st, if the Lord be my helper and keeper, I am to be in Nashville, Tennessee at Les Gems Literary Luncheon. Never been with them, but let's go. I'm always seeking to be in front of new audiences and super excited about it. On March 14th is the Montgomery Book Festival and Writing Expo. Now, I went live the other night talking with Dr. Vernette Nettles. She is the hostess with the mostest and the boots on the ground for this event. But I'm super excited. Artists, authors, people who are interested in writing, come out, meet us. March 14th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right there at the Armory Learning Center, right downtown in Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all know I'll start my South tour in Montgomery, Alabama with my sister, Dr. Vernette Nettles. To register, we're still taking author tables, author registration. Go to Vernette C. Nettles, that's VERNE1T C Nettles, NETTLES.com. Be sure and reach out to her. We're still in the early parts of the year, and I'm going to be advertising this the entire year of 2026 and beyond because it's something really important for authors and business owners. Review, prepare, execute, repeat. Free download of the free checklist and purchase the book. Yeah, I've been writing. Y'all know. Go to bookbusinessboss.com, bookbusinessboss.com. More to come from there very soon and very shortly. I trust that you are blessed by anything that I've said. Sorry about the technology glitches. I don't know what's going on today. It's supposed to be warmer this week. But I'm Dr. Julia Royston. My prayer always is that you live your best life and build up somebody else so that we can build the kingdom together. Be blessed and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.